We are already up to 18 episodes of the Next Level Showcast here on Next Level Radio, and we don't show any signs of slowing down. And on this episode of the Next Level Showcast, episode 18, Adam and I talk about a study regarding online classes, along with a recap of our interview with Michael Rowe from the CW's hit show Arrow, which Adam and I, we've made no bones about it, are huge fans about. Plus, we recap the new Warner Brothers film Godzilla, which Adam and I both had the opportunity to see. We played our interview with a mystery cast member from the movie, and as always, the showcast went over the box office results, DVD releases, upcoming Next Level news, and Weird of the Week. Be sure to check us out, www.nextlevelradioonline.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/nextlevelradioonline, and of course follow us on Twitter at NXTLevelRadio. Don't forget about our big summer contest going on. You can find all the details to it and more in this episode of the Next Level Showcast. Other than that, we just want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
It is Sunday, May 18th, which means it is time for another Next Level Showcast on Next Level Radio. I am Ben Beck. With me always is Adam Gorey.
What's going on?
I was going to say hello, Adam.
Hello.
We got a pretty packed show.
We have a pretty show.
What are you saying? Our show is just
It's
It's eh.
No, it's not eh. It's better than eh, I would think.
How is better than eh?
I don't know.
What's the difference?
It's personal preference.
Oh. Okay, if you say so. So
how was your weekend?
Pretty
Quick as always?
Pretty basic, yeah.
Pretty tame. Well, you did the game show thing yesterday.
I did. I went over to that 24-hour game show in which we interviewed Bob Hague last week about. I went over there for a couple hours, and I'm pretty sure they actually might have reached their goal of 2,500 too.
Perfect. That would be great.
Yeah, I know they were at about 1,200. They were about halfway there before it even started. So
oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, so I'm kind of hoping that between the 24 hours that they did yesterday, they did have a couple technical difficulties in the beginning, but they got everything going, and yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's show business. That happens.
Yeah, I mean, we had technical difficulties when we first started doing this too. We still have them every once in a while.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it was a pretty good time.
Right, and we both saw Godzilla since its release on Friday, which we will be talking about later.
We did, and we kind of felt like we had to see it since we interviewed somebody from the movie.
Yes, so, a big character from the movie.
We interviewed a big star from the movie, so we're going to play that interview in entirety.
We're going to premiere it.
Yeah, we're going to debut the interview right here on the show this week, rather than just recap a little bit of it and then play the whole thing later. We're actually going to play the whole thing. We thought we were going to have about like 5 minutes, but we ended up getting closer to 10. So we're just going to play the whole thing. And we've been keeping it a secret as to who it is because we've been wanting you guys to tune in to check it out.
Yeah.
So
and we'll also recap our interview with Michael Rowe from the CW's Arrow, which we did on Monday.
Which was awesome.
The finale was Wednesday, which was equally awesome. So we'll talk about that. I think, what else were we going to talk about? There was something else I wanted to mention. We're going to, during one of the breaks, if you're listening live, if you're podcasting us, you're going to miss out, because you want to try and listen live, because we're going to start doing this. And tonight's the first night we're doing it. We're going to give you a movie title during one of the breaks. All you have to do is email us that movie title. And then you get an extra chance to win our big summer contest.
Yeah, you get another entry into the contest.
Yeah.
So
try to listen as much, or live, I should say, as much as you can. Obviously, if you can't and you got a podcast, that's fine. There's still plenty of other chances. But do yourself a favor and try to listen live for an extra chance. Because it's going to... I mean, if we do this every week or every couple weeks, that's a lot of extra chances.
Oh, yeah. And we're coming up with other new ways as we go, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we just added... if you go onto iTunes, you already get a chance into the contest if you subscribe to us on iTunes. But if you give us a ranking and a rating, if you rank us on there, you give us a 4 to 5 star rating on there, which we hope you would give us anyway. And then you give us a written review, we'll give you another chance. So it's as simple as that.
Do you actually want to explain the contest a little bit for anyone who's new to the podcast and doesn't know what it's about?
Yeah, we can do that. Up until August 31st, that's as long as this contest is going to be running, we are going to be doing this big summer contest. It's about $350, $400 in value. Basically, what we are going to do is we're going to set you up with a top-notch Blu-ray player. And we are going to set you up with about 10 Blu-rays of your choice. We're going to give you a list of... Well, we said it was going to be about 30 or 40, but it's ended up being like 50 or 60 Blu-ray list.
Yeah,
so,
you're going to have a choice of a good amount of movies.
Yeah, you're going to get to pick 10. So basically what we're doing is we're giving you a top-of-the-line Blu-ray player and about 10 Blu-rays to start your collection off. Like I said, it's about a $400 value, and it's going to be yours for free. But here is the catch. You have to help us get to 750 likes on Facebook. If we do not get to 750 likes by August 31st, the contest is a no-go.
Yeah, we're almost at 200, so I mean, it's not that difficult to do, because all you got to do is share it with all your friends, and just doing that alone gets extra. And then they share it with their friends, and so on and so forth, and before you know it, we're at 750, and somebody's going home with a Blu-ray and a bunch of Blu-rays.
Yeah.
And if you player and a bunch of Blu-rays.
If you don't live in the Philadelphia area, which is where we broadcast from, you don't have to worry about that. We will ship it out to you. So it doesn't matter where you live.
Big summer blowout.
Oh, God. You've been waiting to play. You held on to that, didn't you?
A little bit.
Or purposely got it just for this week.
I got it, so whenever you bring it up, I can play it.
Yeah, because every time we say big summer contest, I end up saying big summer blowout contest just because of that. Just like unintentionally. And that just...
Big summer blowout?
Yeah. So, here are the ways you can earn chances into the contest. You can, 1, if you like us on Facebook, you will earn a chance into the contest. 2, if you subscribe to us on YouTube, you get another chance into the contest. 3, follow us on Twitter. You will get another chance into the contest. Subscribe to us, follow us on Mixler. That would be 4. Subscribe to us on iTunes. That would be 5. Or did I say iTunes already? I didn't say iTunes already, did I? Okay.
No.
So there's 5 different chances for you to get into the contest. For each one of those things you do, you will earn another entry in. So you're going to have 5 automatically just if you follow us everywhere you can. So along the way, we're going to give you additional ways to do it. As Adam said, this show, Second Break, we're going to give you a movie title. And as long as you are listening live and you send us that title, you will get another shot into the contest.
And like you said, if you help us out, help us get on iTunes is new and noteworthy by leaving us a review, or a rating and review, I guess. Obviously put your name on it, and then we will give you another entry.
Yeah, you will earn. So there's 6 ways already. 7 if you count the listening live. And we'll do that every week. So you listen to us every week, and it's...
now till August 31st.
I mean, I'm
not going to do the math, but...
It's 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months, so I mean...
It's 3 months is plenty of time to get us up to 750.
Yeah, that's about 12 extra chances, that alone.
Just by listening to us live.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll do other stuff along the way. Maybe we'll do like a movie trivia question on the Facebook page, and if you answer it, or you're one of the first people to answer it, you'll get an extra chance into the contest. Stuff like that. So a good opportunity for a lot of people to earn a lot of chances. But again, the catch, you got to get us to 750 likes on Facebook.
And if you're not on Facebook, join Facebook and like us.
If you don't,
it'll be worth it.
Yeah. If you're not on Facebook, send us an email. Send one of us an email. Ben at nextlevelradioonline.com or Adam at nextlevelradioonline.com. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
So we want to make it fair for everybody.
Get on Facebook.
So, but with that being said, what do you say we move on to the daily or the weekly grind, and we hit the box office for the week.
That'll work.
I can get it up.
And that was the box office. You jerk. How's the box office looking this week?
Well, number one, no surprise. Opening, debuting, whatever you want to say, premiering at number one, Godzilla. And I love how it says 2014 in parentheses because there's so many. Brought in $93.2 million this weekend.
No surprise.
No, and like I do with all new releases, 72% on Rotten Tomatoes. So a little lower than I would have thought. 77% for the audience, 72 on the tomato meter.
Well, that went down since Friday.
Yeah, so we'll review it a little bit later in the show, and then we'll let you know. We'll give you our spoiler-free.
I was just going to say that. You beat me to it.
Yeah, a spoiler-free review of the movie. So find out what we thought a little bit later in the show. Number two was Neighbors. Last week it was number one. This is its second week. Brought in another 25.9. I still need to go see that because it looks hilarious.
It does.
Another film I need to go see. This dropped back from 2 to 3. The Amazing Spider-Man number 2. 16.8 mil in its third week. So this has dropped a spot each week. So first week it was number 1, second number 2, third number 3. So I wonder if maybe next week it'll be number 4.
I would say that's not really a good sign, but look at what it's going up against in the box office.
Yeah, especially Godzilla. I'm a little surprised that Neighbors keeps beating it out, but when Godzilla opens up, you're not going to do as well.
No.
Number 4 opening, $1 Million Arm, 10.5. So kind of not a great opening for that.
A lackluster opening for $1 Million Arm.
59% on the tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes, 74% from the audience. So the audience seems to like it. Critics not so much, and I guess paying moviegoers not as much either.
Yeah.
So rounding out the top 5 was number 3 last week, The Other Woman, bringing in $6.3 million in its fourth week. Any movie there that you noticed that isn't there that's been there for a while?
Any movie that's been there?
What movie has been in the top 5 for a while and is now not?
Been in the top 5 for a while.
I did not just mention it.
But is now not. And you said you just mentioned it?
No, I didn't. I didn't mention it in the top 5.
Huh. I'm trying to think back to past weeks to see what would be in there.
Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
You didn't even give me a chance to try and guess.
You took too long.
I was
This is
wasting
only
too
a
much
2-hour
time.
show.
Shut up.
Yeah, dropped back all the way. It was number 5 last week, dropped to number 8. Brought in 3.7. But 7th week in the movie theater, so it's going to start dropping out.
No, and it's what's the total box office on that now? Does it say?
$250.6 million.
It's done its time.
Yeah. Compare that to, let's see what else is around there. Well, I mean, Divergence on its 9th week, and that's only brought in 146. So, and Divergence, was pretty popular apparently for a little bit. But,
yeah.
And that's it for this weekend's box office. Now coming out this Friday, May 23rd, X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Can't
which looks
wait.
fantastic.
Can't wait.
Ben is supposed to go screen that on Tuesday. I'm going to try and see it before next week's show so we can possibly review it.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll have a review of that next week.
Yeah, we should be able to. Because I think there's a possibility that it'll even come out some releases on Thursday. So even if I'm busy Friday, Saturday, I can try and see it beforehand on Thursday night.
I mean,
coming out,
if you don't get the chance to see it, I'll definitely do. I'll do a review on our website.
I was going to say we're going to start doing.
Yeah, we're going to do blogs. Probably starting this week. Adam and I are each going to have our own blog, in which we'll keep track of a bunch of different things on our own, and we'll probably have our own personalized movie reviews on there as well. So if we don't get the chance to review it on the show next week, I'll definitely do a blog review on it over the week.
Yep. And let's see. Also coming out Friday, May 23rd, Blended, the comedy with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. Not sure Adam Sandler's movies haven't been that good lately.
Yeah, his movies haven't been that good lately, but this is the third one he's done with Drew. Those two tend to have some decent chemistry on screen.
Yeah, 50 First Dates was good. What was the other one?
Oh God, why can't I think of it? Wedding Singer.
Oh yeah,
which I thought was hysterical.
I
thought that was a good movie. So 50 First Dates was good. Wedding Singer was great. I think the chemistry between those two will probably raise this up another level or two.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know if I'll go see it in theaters.
No, I'm not gonna.
But I'll definitely check it out when it comes out to Blu-ray and DVD.
Let's see, Cold in July, drama thriller with Michael C. Hall, Don Johnson, Sam Shepard, and Vanessa Shaw.
Dexter.
Yes, Michael C. Hall, Dexter. Directed by Jim Mickle. And then finally, Words and Pictures, the rom-com with Clive Owen, Juliette Binoche, I think is how you say her name.
Yep.
Bruce Davison and Amy Brenneman, directed by Fred Schapisi.
That's not Italian. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Not at all. Yeah, so that's rounding out the box office and the upcoming. Now, before we get into the DVDs, I just want to real quick mention Thursday I had the opportunity to screen the movie The Signal, which is coming out June 13th. Coming in theaters June 13th, and then Friday I had the chance to speak with the director from The Signal. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it live. We had to record it so we could, debut it a little closer to the film's release. It doesn't come out for a month, so just to let everybody know, stay tuned, because probably, I know June 8th, our show on June 8th, I'll be at least giving a quick review of it, and then obviously I'll put it up on the page for podcast. But probably a couple days before that show, we're gonna premiere and post the interview with Will Eubank, who's the director of The Signal. But I did get a chance to see it, so that'll be another one, because Ben wasn't able to make. That'll be another one that will, you want to keep an eye out for on the page.
Yeah, and we'll post it on the Facebook page and on our Twitter account once the interview is up and posted for people to listen to.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but on the same note, before we get into the DVDs and such, if you're listening to us live right now through Mixlr, obviously we encourage you to join in. You can chat with us during the show right there on the website on the Mixlr homepage. If you're signed in as a guest, unfortunately you cannot chat. They don't allow guests to chat. But very simply, what's that?
I said it's discrimination.
It is discrimination. I agree.
Stand for it.
But if you just simply sign up for Mixlr, it's free to sign up. If you have a Facebook page, you can simply just sign in with your Facebook page, and it'll automatically transfer the information. It'll take you about 30 seconds. Go ahead and do that. This way you can chime in. You can chat with us during the show, and we definitely do check the chat rooms. So, because we encourage you to interact with us during the show. So, yeah. Especially when we start doing the movie review later, and we play the interview. From the person from the movie. So if you're not already a member of Mixlr, go ahead and sign up so that this way you can chat with us during the show. So, but moving on to DVD releases coming out this coming week. Quite a few. There's about 5 of them coming out this week. First one, 3 Days to Kill, starring Kevin Costner. I don't remember exactly what this one was about. I think he was
he's like I don't know if he's an assassin or like a secret agent or whatever, but he had to kill somebody.
Yeah, I don't know. Made about 30.6 mil at the box office, 32% on Rotten Tomatoes, 50% from the viewers. So not a great rating. Next coming out this week, About Last Night with Michael Ealy. What?
Will you buy, rent, or pass?
Oh yeah, that's right. 3 Days to Kill, pass.
Pass. Yeah.
I'm a Costner fan, but I'm going to pass.
It's a dying CIA agent trying to reconnect with his estranged daughter. He's offered an experimental drug that could save his life in exchange for one last assignment.
Yeah, pass.
So there's that.
Next coming out this week, About Last Night with Michael Ealy and Kevin Hart. 48.6 mil at the box office, 69% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is pretty decent, 74% for the viewers. It's a rent. I've heard a lot of great things about this movie. So I've heard it's hysterical, and Kevin Hart. Although I heard Kevin Hart, even though he's a supporting character, pretty much outshines everybody in the movie.
Oh, really? I do like Kevin Hart, but I think I might have to pass.
It's your decision. Next, coming out this week, The Monuments Men with George Clooney and Matt Damon. 78 mil at the box office. Only a 32% on Rotten Tomatoes, 48% viewers. This was one of those movies that people were anticipating being good, and apparently it really wasn't.
Yeah, and it kept getting pushed back, too, for a while.
So, but I like the cast, and I like the story behind it. So I think I'm still going to give it a rent, just because I want to see it.
I'll give it a rent as well.
Moving on, coming out this week as well, Pompeii with Kit Harington of Game of Thrones fame. 23.2 mil at the box office, 28% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oof. 41% on from the viewers.
What about our boy Adewale?
I didn't say it because I don't remember how to pronounce it.
I know, but poor guy, man. That's a rough outing.
Yeah. Could be worse. Could have not done anything since Lost.
Could have been Hercules.
Oh, burn. That was a horrible movie. I didn't even have to see it to know that.
Yeah, I was going to say, all I had to do was watch the trailer.
I didn't even have to see it to know that.
I'm going to go with a little alliteration here and pass on Pompeii.
Yeah, it's going to be a pass. And this one, just by the name alone, you will know about me. If you know about me, in my opinion on certain things, and your wife is going to get all up in arms with me on this again, just the name alone is going to be a pass. Also coming out this week, Vampire Academy. Another Twilight wannabe movie with a bunch of people that nobody cares about. What's that?
That one looked exceptionally stupid.
Yeah. And it's not even a spoof movie either. Like, it's actually like a legit movie, and it also looked horrible. 7.6 mil in the box office, so not a great box office take. 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. But here's the kicker.
Still beat Hercules.
That's true. Here's the kicker. This is what I don't get. 10% on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics. Yeah. The viewers, 71%.
Dude,
how is that possible? And how many 15-year-olds did they pay to rate that movie? I was just going to
say, teenagers have a lot of access to the internet now. So
yeah.
Pass for me.
Oh, my God, it's a pass.
A lot of movies coming out, but a lot of passes for me.
Yeah. Well, I think there was no buys this week.
No, not a one.
No buy this week. Couple rents and mostly passes.
It's a dry week.
So, yeah. We'll get to more. A lot of those summer movies that are coming out will start coming out on Blu-ray and DVD in the next couple months. So, Captain America will be coming out soon. And, yeah, I know. I can't really think of many other ones right now. But
no, I mean, well, a lot of them are going to be... a lot of good movies, I should say, are going to be coming out in theaters now because it's summer.
Yeah.
So it's like a slight lull in DVD world until, like, the fall.
Yeah, it's very true. So a lot of the summer movies are coming out to the theaters over the next couple months, and then a couple months after that, we'll start seeing them coming out on Blu-ray and DVD. So around September, we'll start seeing some stuff coming out on Blu-ray, some better stuff,
right,
coming out on Blu-ray. I did look ahead a little bit. There's a couple that are sneaking in there that are worth getting. Probably a couple buys. I know one for sure that I thought would have been out a long time ago that's still not coming out until the next couple weeks is Lone Survivor with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, really? Because that had a limited release in, like, December.
Yeah, and it still hasn't come out. I mean, movies that were released into theaters after that have already come out to Blu-ray and DVD.
I never understood how they decide that.
I don't know. But I know that's coming out in the next couple weeks. I've seen that movie, and I can tell you right now, it's a buy.
Oh, really? You saw it?
Oh, my God, yeah. It was an amazing movie.
I want to see it.
So, but with that being said, we are going to take our first break of the night. When we come back, we are going to recap our interview with Michael Rowe from CW's Arrow, which was awesome. We might talk about the finale a little bit.
I think we can.
And who knows? We'll probably talk about something else as well. We'll throw in Next Level News, and that'll be about it. But we are going to take that break, and we'll be back in just a little bit, so stay tuned.
The power of Christ compels you!
Hi, this is Claire Coffey from NBC's Grimm, and you're listening to Next Level Radio.
As Mr. Sloman always says, there's no I in team, but there is an I in pie. There's an I in meat pie. So the anagram of meat is team. I don't know what he's talking about. Look, that's it.
We are back from that break, little Shaun of the Dead quote.
I was gonna say, is that Steve Coogan?
No, that's Simon Pegg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That guy sounds like Steve Coogan there. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
maybe it's just me. I don't know.
No, Simon Pegg from Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I know who Simon Pegg is. So for some reason, I thought it sounded like... I've never seen Shaun of the Dead, I don't think.
You have never seen Shaun of the Dead?
I don't think so. Which I don't know how, being that I'm friends with you.
We are done professionally. You and me are done. You and me, we are done professionally.
Sorry.
I gave you enough time. It's that.
No, I have my volume turned up, remember?
What?
I
Oh.
didn't want to blast it in your ear.
Oh, okay. I was giving you the chance to
for our clips.
Yeah, I was giving you the chance to play that quote, but that's.
I know. Well, maybe you should find a way to play clips, and you can do it.
I will find a way to play. Look, don't argue with me. You haven't seen Shaun of the Dead. You automatically lose this argument.
I'm sorry.
So
You lose! Good day, sir!
you should play that for yourself.
Anyway. Moving right on.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, see, even your wife has seen it.
Yes, I just saw that comment in the room. Is it on Netflix? If it's on Netflix, I'll watch it this week.
I don't know. I
I'll
don't know
check
if it's
right
on
now.
Netflix or
Well,
not. I think it might be.
Go give the intro to what we're going to be talking about, and I'll look it up.
Give the intro to what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, what we're... just continue with the show.
Well, I thought I was going to be the one looking it up because I thought you were going to be doing the intro to the topic. See, you don't pay attention to me during breaks.
What are you talking about? We're going to recap our Michael Rowe interview.
I thought we were doing that later.
I don't know.
All right, fine. Well, we'll do that first.
Yeah,
since it's
we'll
already
do
ready
that
to go.
first.
But anyway, yeah, see, technical difficulty. That's not even technical difficulties. This is just stupid difficulties.
That's stupidity.
These are difficulties with intelligence.
With Ben.
So, but anyway, this past Monday, Adam and I had the opportunity to speak with Michael Rowe, who is one of the actors from CW's Arrow, which Adam and I are huge, huge, huge fans of. The show is so massively epic, it's unbelievable. And Michael Rowe plays one of the coolest characters on that show. Plays Deadshot, which is, I don't even know if you count him as a villain, because he certainly wasn't in the finale. So
not as much as I would have liked.
He wasn't in the finale as much as we would have liked, but
Yeah.
he wasn't a villain in the finale
right.
either.
I see what you're saying.
He's the anti-hero. He does what he feels helps him.
He does what he wants. He's like the honey badger.
And he's a villain with charisma, which is one of the things that I told him during the interview, and he got a kick out of. So, because he definitely does. And when it was weird, it was funny because when we did the interview and we asked him to explain what the show was about, he almost did it in character. He was like, "Well, it's about this rich kid, and he's
It might just be how he is.
It might be, but if that's how he is, then that's fitting for him playing that part.
Yeah.
So hasn't really done much of anything else before Arrow. But
no, but I think he's. We didn't get a chance to ask him, but I think he's going to be in a new Disney movie.
He's going to be in Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't get a chance to ask him about that because we were running short on time. And I know he said that he would have loved it. He would have kept talking to us for like another 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm sure we can get him back on in the future.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get him back on. I don't think we've seen the last of him in Arrow, for sure.
No. No.
And, he was very... We use the words very engaging with every interview that we do. I realize this when we recap every interview. But there's really not much else you can say. Like, we've been extremely lucky in the interviews that we've had.
They have all been very engaging.
Every person has been very engaging. Nobody's been really, shut down. And we haven't had to force any kind of answers out of him. If anything, Michael Rowe, there was one question I thought was going to be just a throwaway question. I thought it was just going to be, we'll get a quick 10-second answer out of him. And I think he ended up going for 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah, because actually that's one of the clips I have, excuse me, as part of that. And I was like, I'll start here. And then it was 2 minutes later, I was like, that's too long. And I had to keep doing that because it was at least, I would think, close to 4 minutes with a story he told us. 'Cause, I mean, it was a great story.
Yeah, he was awesome to talk to. I really hope we get to talk to him again later on down the road, which I think we'll have a good shot at that.
I would love to talk to all three of the Arrow people we've had.
I would love to talk to the entire cast of Arrow eventually.
Yes.
Because I told you, that's one of the plans that I think we're working on right now. Is it's weird because, like, when we do interviews and the past interviews that we've gotten so far, there are people that, you know, you might be a bigger fan of than me, so you're a little bit more excited, or it's the other way around, and it's somebody that I'm a bigger fan of that, you know, so I'm a little bit more excited about it. But when it comes to people from Arrow, you and I are such big fans of that show that I think we're both, like, super excited no matter who it is that's on that show. I mean, we talked to Bamford, James Bamford, Bam Bam.
Yeah, we talked to him for an hour.
which was unbelievable. You know, we talked to Selena Jade, who plays Shadow from the show. We talked to Michael Rowe,
who was in the finale.
They both were in the finale.
Yeah.
Bam Bam had a part in the finale. Not physically,
right, yeah.
but I mean, he choreographed all the fights for the.
He was there in spirit.
I mean, especially the fight scene with Oliver and
Deadshot
and Slade. No, Slade.
Yeah. Oh, the one on the ship.
On the ship, which was amazing.
That was very cool.
So, Bamford is definitely talented, and he's been tweeting us too ever since we had that interview. Like, he loves it whenever we mention him in tweets and stuff like that. And he always replies.
He was going to come on the show, I think, last week, but he was traveling.
Yeah, he was out seeing Selena Jade.
Yeah.
So, Selena Jade out in Hong Kong. So, and it's funny because ever since, you know, Bamford retweets us, he replies to us a bunch anytime we mention him in tweets, which is awesome. It's almost like he's becoming like a friend of the show, which is really, really cool. And
he's the official stunt coordinator of Next Level Radio.
Yeah. Selena Jade mentioned him in our interview with her. Michael Rowe mentioned him in our interview with him.
Yeah, but it's actually kind of fun. Like, we didn't even tell them we talked to him, and they brought him up in the interview. That shows you how good of a stunt coordinator he is, and if you see Arrow, you already know that.
Yeah, you already know how good he is. But back to Michael Rowe, he was really cool to talk to. I'll use the words again. He was very engaging. But I believe what's that?
I was just gonna say he's a very, like, chill guy. Like, he seems like a fun, like, he would be a fun dude to hang out with.
Yeah. Oh,
very
yeah,
relaxed,
absolutely.
Like, go with the flow type of deal.
And he's very humble.
Yeah.
You know, he knows he got lucky in landing that role. And he has a ton. He's not as popular on Twitter as Selena Jade is, but he definitely has a lot of hardcore fans on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, because we were getting a lot of them retweeting the interview and retweeting our comments about him and replying to us and favoriting.
Did you see that the video is already over 100 views in like 4 or 5 days?
Yeah, I think it's our highest, quickest one yet.
It's up there for sure.
So I mean, our Chris Allen interview is pretty high, but I don't think it got that high as fast as Michael Rowe's did.
As it sits is 112.
So what is Michael Rowe or Chris Allen?
Yeah, no, Michael Rowe, 112 in 5 days. Chris Allen's almost at 900.
Yeah, he's pretty much. But I mean, we did his interview back in February.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's had some time. We'll give Michael Rowe obviously some more attention as we go through, just like we do. You're pretty good on Twitter about recapping, recapping all the interviews that we've done and stuff like that. Like, I know you posted the Joe Minoso interview again, and Joe Minoso replied or retweeted and.
Yeah, especially when something about the show comes, like, because a lot of finales were this week, so.
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody we've talked to has been really good about that on Twitter, too. Anytime we post about their interview on Twitter, they'll retweet it, they'll reply to it, they'll favorite it. So, I mean, we've gotten so lucky with the interviews. But I believe you have a couple clips of the Michael Rowe interview that you're going to play.
Yeah, the first one is actually part of that extensive answer to the question about how he got the part of Floyd Lawton, a.k.a. Deadshot.
I went in and I did the audition, and I didn't think it was anything special, but then they gave me a call back, and the second time was for the director of the episode. Guy B was directing this episode, and so he was there the second time. And, I mean, usually, I don't know if other actors are like this, but usually when as soon as I leave an audition, I got all these other ideas. I'm like, oh, damn it, I should have done this, I should have done that. This is a great idea. I screwed it up. So I go back and I'm doing it again for Guy B, and I say, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep firing people. I'm going to keep reloading my gun. I'm just going to like keep the scene going as long as I can until somebody tells me to stop. So I just go for it, man, and it keeps going, and it's like kind of a lot of dead air in the room, and then the director starts laughing, and I was like, oh, shit, man, that's not good. And so he goes, oh, I'm sorry, Michael, that was just really intense, dude. Like, I had to start laughing. I didn't know what to do. And so then he asked me if I have any tattoos, and I thought that was a weird question, and I didn't know why. And so I walked out, and then I noticed when I was signing out in the lobby that the other guy that was there for Finn was covered in tattoos. And there's only me and him there for the callback. So I'm like, either they want tattoos or they don't want tattoos. But, you know, one of us is going to get this gig based on whether we have tattoos or not.
And he said Finn, which I guess, if you listen to the whole interview, that's the part he thought he was auditioning for, like a guy named Finn that was like a military sniper. And it wasn't until he got on set and everybody started calling him Deadshot and stuff that he realized who he was, you know, who his character actually was going to be.
Well, they do that a lot. They'll give code names to a lot of different things because they don't want things getting leaked.
Right.
You know, they'll bring in people to audition. They'll bring in people to audition for certain roles, and they have those roles in mind. But they sometimes won't even tell the actors that's the role they're going for, because they don't want the actor going home and saying, "Oh, I just auditioned for Deadshot," which means, you know, Deadshot's coming into Arrow.
Right.
You know, they want to keep that part a mystery. So, you know, sometimes the only way to do that is to keep that a secret from the actors too.
Yeah, like Star Wars did with Blue Harvest.
Yeah, the original title of Star Wars on the script was Blue Harvest.
I think it was Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's actually kind of funny too. Like he says later in the interview, but that, you know, something small like not having tattoos helped him get the part. So, in addition to his audition, you know, because the other guy was loaded with tattoos. And I can see why, because if you know anything about the character Floyd Lawn and Deadshot, he tattoos the names of his victims onto his body. So if this guy was covered in tattoos, that would make it a little difficult.
Yeah,
this guy has a pink rainbow tattoo on his back. It probably wouldn't have helped.
If he had a pink rainbow tattoo on his back, he probably shouldn't be auditioning for a show like Arrow.
Hey, come on. Everybody's allowed to do what they want. All right, fine. He's got a big skull.
There you go.
And a heart that says "Mom."
I wasn't discriminating against anybody. I was just saying you're probably not going to get the part of Deadshot.
Never know. So. You want me to play this other clip real quick?
Yeah, might as well.
This is because he had done Wild Driver, which was a sketch comedy group with his brother. So this is kind of him talking about how he went from that and got his introduction into acting.
I had a younger brother who just moved out here, Andrew, and he's a writer, and he's a damn good writer, and especially with comedy stuff. So he was going to go to school, but instead he took his money and invested it in buying a lot of equipment and a good camera and stuff like that. So I thought I'd come out here and just help him produce some of his scripts that he had. I thought I'd be holding a boom mic or helping him with lighting and stuff like that, but he didn't know any actors, so he needed the crew to act as crew and cast in all this stuff. And dude, the scripts were so bizarre and hilarious to me that I loved it. It was almost like filling the hole that was left from losing my band, you know what I mean? Like hanging out with my friends and especially doing this comedy stuff where we're trying to, like, we're improvising with the script and stuff too, and trying to break each other, trying to make each other laugh. And you know, that was my introduction to acting. I'd never acted in anything in my life. I didn't even do fucking theater arts in high school. So, you know, we did it constantly. I did it for like 2 or 3 years constantly, and then I was like, I got to go see how other people do this. And then eventually I went and did some acting classes and just like a neighborhood teen study.
I think that's a great story. Like, his whole story in general is great. How he got the part and how he even got in. Like, him getting into acting was kind of unintentional. He was in a band. The band broke up. He was going to go help his brother with his, you know, sketch comedy group and ended up having to help him out and do some acting and loved it.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the questions I don't think we got the chance to ask, because I don't know the answer to it, is what did he do in the band? Was he a singer? Yeah. Was he a musician? I don't think we got the chance to ask him that.
We did not.
Because I know he was a musician, but I don't know if we ever asked him what he played.
No, but he had dreadlocks.
I know, yeah, because you brought that up in the interview, that he had dreadlocks in one of the shorts that you had seen from Wild Driver, and lo and behold, they were real. They were real dreadlocks.
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen, I mean, if you watch Arrow or you've seen him now, go to Wild Driver's website, and it's like on the last page of their videos. There's a couple. It's wild-driver.com, but just look at him with dreadlocks. I think it's funny. And he pulls it off, man. I gotta tell you, it doesn't look too weird. Like, you know, some like white guys with dreadlocks looks really weird.
Yeah,
he pulls it off.
Yeah,
must be that Newfoundland look.
Newfoundland.
Hooputnus.
Anyway, Hooputnus.
Well, how do you pronounce it?
Newfoundland.
Okay, isn't that what I said? Newfoundland.
It just sounded like you muttered it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Newfoundland.
It's a tough word to say sometimes, man. It's a little bit of tongue twister, unless you're from there. And I was thinking this the other day. I think that's the first time I've ever heard someone, or even spoken to someone from Newfoundland, because that's, from what I can think of, the first time I've heard someone from there actually say the word. It's always somebody from, like, saying it, you know, because I think he said it a little differently than we would say it. He said it a little quicker, because we have to kind of think about what we're saying.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, he's from there, so just bam.
You want to know one of the other things I loved about this interview, too, is Adam and I we're not regulated by FCC, by internet, so we're pretty much free to say whatever we want. We can curse and we can talk about any topic that we do, but we try not to, because we want to appeal to all audiences, and sometimes you can limit yourself depending on the language that you use, so we try not to do it. But Michael,
what don't you fucking understand?
But Michael Rowe was the first person that was comfortable enough to curse during an interview with us.
We usually tell that to our, the people we're interviewing before we go on. We're like, look, we're not FCC regulated, so I mean, if you want to curse, you know, if one slips out or if you want to curse, feel free.
Yeah,
we don't care.
And he came back and he's like, I was going to ask you about that too. He's like, because every once in a while I can slip.
Yeah.
So, but when he came back and he used the word shit first, and when he said that, I was like, inside, I was like, kind of like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, there were a couple. When he called Deadshot he's a selfish prick.
Yeah, that's not really a curse though.
I know, but can you say that on FCC regulation?
Yeah.
Oh, can you? Okay.
You can say prick.
No, I didn't know that.
Well, because you're not using it in the phallic term.
Right.
You're using it as an insult.
Yeah.
So
okay.
In that case, you can use it on
I know some people try not to.
Yeah.
But I still think that's a hilarious description of the character Deadshot and Floyd Long.
It's weird. It's like it's like the P word. If you can call somebody that, you can say somebody is that.
Yeah.
But you can't talk about it as if it is that. If you know what
You're talking about the female body part.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't talk about it as if
For
it's
anyone who's thinking, what the hell, P word?
You can't refer to it as the female body part, but you can call somebody that on radio. Petroleum. Is that what you said?
Paraphernalia? Trying to think of other P words.
Platypus. Well, that one actually kind of is close enough to it.
You're talking about if you're referring to a cat.
Yes. I think they got it.
Or a female genitalia.
Adam, I think they got it by now.
You never know, man.
So, but yeah, he was definitely cool to talk to, and we hope we definitely get to talk to him again down the road. We do have some other interviews lined up. I know this coming Wednesday, we're going to be talking to Pete Mitchell. If you don't know who Pete Mitchell is, do yourself a favor, go online and look up the band No More Kings. I absolutely love this band. They're not huge, but they've definitely toured the country. They have 3 albums out. Actually, their 3rd album just came out, which is part of the reason why we're having Pete on. It's going to be a real fun interview just because I've talked to Pete before in the past, and I've met Pete before. He's really excited to come on, and I think he's going to do the Google chat with us so that we're not talking to him on the phone. It's going to seem like he's in the room with us, which is pretty cool.
That's very cool.
And he told us we have as much time as we want with him, so we can talk to him for as long as we want, which is really, really
We'll
cool.
talk to him straight through until Sunday's show.
Their music, No More Kings music, uses a lot of pop culture references in their songs. So I'm pretty sure if we wanted to, we could just get on a movie conversation with Pete, and it would go forever. So, because I know he's a big movie fan and pop culture fan like us. So, but that's going to be Wednesday at 7:30. That is going to be live on the Mixler channel, so you will be able to tune in.
We'll do it live!
You will be able to tune in and hear that as we do that interview live, which would be pretty cool. But if you're podcasting and you can't tune in live, we will have the interview up on iTunes, and we will have the interview up on YouTube and on our webpage. So,
does that wrap it up for the? Did you want to talk about the air finale at all? I mean, we touched on it a little bit.
I don't want to.
Other than that.
Yeah, I don't want to throw any spoilers out there for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, who might be a fan and hasn't had the chance to see it yet.
It was awesome.
It was. It was a really good finale. It was a really good wrap-up, and I'm just going to say the preview for The Flash looks awesome.
Yeah. Well, I have that in Next Level News, so I can bring it up later.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's actually couple things.
And I think Adam and I had talked about this for a while now, and I think now after seeing that preview, I'm pretty sure Adam and I are actually going to be doing a weekly, probably just like the showcast. It's going to be live when we do it, but we'll podcast it later. It depends on the night of the week that we decide to do it, if we can.
Yeah, the show's going to be Tuesday nights, I believe.
Is it? All right, so maybe we'll do it Tuesdays after the show.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. But Adam and I are going to do a flash show. Not a flash show. That just sounds dirty.
Flash.
We're going to do a flash podcast. And maybe, I don't know, I'm sure we'll talk about Arrow a little bit during it, because I'm sure there's going to be tie-ins.
Stephen Amell is in the first episode.
Well, he was in the trailer, too. He was in the preview for...
He's in the teaser.
No, well,
yeah, he was in the trailer too. Yeah,
he was in the trailer too. So he's going to be in the pilot. Which is
that's what I
cool.
just said.
Yeah, but then you went ahead and denied it. You said he was in the teaser, and I said no, he was in the trailer.
No, I said Never mind. I said he was going to be in the first episode.
Yes, and I was just confirming it. I wasn't saying you were wrong.
Anyway, moving along. Jeez Louise. Have you ever taken any online classes or anything like that?
No, I'm not opposed to the idea, but I have not had the opportunity to do it.
Okay, because I know I haven't, since graduation, I haven't taken one. But while I was in school, in college, there was a class that, like, it was like a computer class that we didn't really, like, we had a teacher, but I don't think I ever met him or her. I don't even know if it was a guy or a girl. Because, we were in a computer room that, we all just would log in and do whatever work was posted or whatever, we could do stuff on our own time and everything like that. But there was no teacher, so it's kind of like an online class, a little different.
Yeah.
But there's this article that came out that apparently more students are taking online classes, but the passage rates are low. The study was done in California, but I'm sure because I could see it easily being true, I should say, across the country. The students at California Community College are taking more online courses than a decade ago. So the study's from 2002 to 2012. Enrollment grew by almost 1 million in the last 10 years, but only about 60% of students in 2012 finished with a passing grade. Which is about 10 points, or 10 percentage points, I should say, lower than the number of students who would take, like, a traditional class, in class.
Yeah. Well, I know just from working at home from my job, there's a lot of distractions.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's funny because my senior year, first semester, I tried living at home because it was only about 20 minutes or so from school. Mm-hmm. Because, the house was just going to be me and my mom. So I was like, it's cool. I'll be fine. But then my sister and her boyfriend, I guess at the time, or fiance, whatever, were in between, moving into a house and from an apartment. So they were living there for a while, and it was, it wasn't very quiet. It was just distracting. Like you said, so I actually went back to live on campus the second semester because, it's true what they say. Like, you get more done at the library because it's quiet, it's not distracting. But, like, if you're at home or around your computer, your TV, like, even if you say you're just going to turn it on as background noise, it's still going to distract you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's completely true. If it's something like I know at home, I have a 2-monitor setup on my computer. I'm thinking about going to a 3-monitor setup at some point in the near future, but as of right now, I have a 2-monitor setup. And on one monitor, I'll do things like Facebook and word process, like on Word and Excel and things like that. And the other monitor is pretty much exclusively just for video. Movies on my computer, I'll play Netflix, Hulu. I'll tap into my Slingbox and I'll watch TV on that other monitor. So I really don't even have to turn my head to watch TV, to watch a video or to watch something. The video is definitely a distraction for me. Yeah. But music, I don't think is. Like, I can put on a soundtrack to something and just sit and listen and get... It's actually how I write. And the music actually does help me concentrate. We've talked about this before. The music actually helps me concentrate better.
Yeah, music is fine because there's no visual. You know what I mean? If you're sitting there trying to, like, for an online class, sitting there trying to maybe type a paper... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you hear a movie on, and it's like, oh, it's your favorite part or something like that. You're going to stop and stop paying attention. I've done it before just doing stuff, even for the show, or something else that I was, like, typing an email or something like that. And I pull my head up, and I look back down, and next thing you know, I'm like, what the hell was I thinking about? Where was I? And I have to kind of think for a second to figure out where I left off. So I can only imagine, because in a traditional class, you're doing nothing else for an hour but being in that class. You know what I mean? You're not on your computer, most likely. Even though computers are kind of moving into the classroom, but mostly your teachers kind of regulate that, and same thing with cell phones. So you're at least concentrating on that class for an hour, however long it is.
Yeah. Apparently,
when it's online, you never know.
Apparently, according to your wife, you've never been in the library.
She wouldn't know. She's never been in the library. No, she actually always went to the library. I've been there.
Well, then she would know if you were ever in the library.
I've been there, but not often. I had stepped foot in the library.
But I mean, back to your like, I've thought about online classes. I've just never actually had the opportunity to step up and take any yet. I want to. I'm kind of hoping there's a potential thing in the works for my near future. That if it happens, it's definitely something that I think I might actually take advantage of, is taking online classes.
Yeah, I would love to, depending what it is, obviously, but and depending on, and I don't know, what the stats are as far as cost. Do you know if they're any cheaper or anything like that?
That I don't know.
I would think they're a little cheaper, but you still do have to buy books.
Yeah, but see, that's the beautiful thing about sometimes everything being in a digital world now is you can actually buy books through Kindle.
Yeah.
You can buy ebooks now, which is even better.
Yeah, that is true. But, I mean, go ahead.
I think the older you get, the more responsible you be. Well, it's not in every case, but the more responsible you may get, and the easier it may be for you to concentrate when to eliminate distractions.
Unless you have kids.
Oh, well, then it might be it'll become even more difficult.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, you might get older and more mature, but then you pop out some babies, and all of a sudden, you literally cannot pay attention. Like, it's not even your fault anymore.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be popping out any babies anytime
this
soon.
Is true.
A future wife might be popping out.
One night stand will be popping out babies.
What are you saying? I can't get a relationship? This is a topic for another time, Adam.
It's like the movie Knocked Up. But no, I mean, we have a couple mutual friends of ours, one of which just graduated, and I don't think, I think the majority of her classes were actually in, traditional in class, night classes because she had a full-time job. But I do believe there probably were one or two that were online, and she just graduated, so I mean, she did well. But another mutual friend of ours was doing online classes, an online class program through work, and he passed, I guess, but he didn't have a high enough grade to continue in the program. So I mean, that was one thing where, if he wasn't in because the program would pay for it, so he had to keep a certain grade. I think it was like a C maybe or a B, and then he ended up having like one full grade too low or something like that. So I mean. And I remember talking to him, I would ask him if he wanted to do something. He's like, I gotta do homework or something like that. So I could easily see that being an issue where you're like, oh, I'm supposed to do this paper, but I'm not in, like, especially once you graduated college and you're out of that college mindset.
Yeah.
Where you're used to being able to kind of do whatever you want. I could see it being a problem.
Yeah, and like I said, I think the biggest thing is distractions.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, whether it be kids or if you're younger and it's friends or if it's television or videos online or porn or whatever the hell it could be. Distractions are definitely, I think, the biggest part as to why people are failures when it comes to...
If you're too busy committing homicides, that can get distracting.
Yeah, absolutely. Even burglary. But burglary could do it, too.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, again, I'm not opposed to it. Like I said, I think the older you get, I think the easier it becomes.
No, reading this kind of makes me want to try it and see if I can be all that I can be.
G.I. Joe.
But not in the military.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. It's something I would like to attempt at some point. I mean, I know Phoenix University I think it's entirely online, or University of Phoenix.
Yeah.
Is, I think, 100% online.
It is 100% online.
So,
yeah.
But I do have a friend that actually graduated from University of Phoenix, so it's possible. I mean, you just have to eliminate distractions.
Did they have to go out to Arizona?
No. No, they just send you the diploma online.
Was it like a Skype graduation?
That's a lot of people on one Skype call.
Yeah. I wonder how they do that. Or do they just send you
I think they just send you a diploma.
No.
So, but there are local offices of University of Phoenix in this area.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
So they could do a graduation ceremony for you at a local place.
Yeah, that's true.
So, because I think I actually do remember seeing a picture of her wearing a cap and gown. So I think they did do a ceremony.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think they would kind of have to.
Nah, you wouldn't have to. I mean, if you take an online class and you just pass the class, all you do is get a certificate that you passed the class.
Yeah, but what if you're getting a degree? Don't they have to, like, give you a commencement or something like that?
No, they don't have to.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, that would be the only thing that would worry me about doing classes online and doing like an online college, like University of Phoenix, is for some reason I just have this fear, and I know it's not the case, but I just have this fear that workplaces and employers don't take it as seriously as a college,
right?
You know, as an actual college that you attend. So I don't know. Like, I mean, I have my degree from Moravian. You have yours from DeSales. And, you know, I just feel like in comparison, a degree from University of Phoenix wouldn't take that as seriously as the degrees you and I actually have.
Yeah, but I think, though, as time goes on, that kind of has changed. You know, maybe like 10 years ago, I was like, eh. But now that they're becoming so prevalent, it's probably a little
It's kind of like online dating. Like if you met your significant other online dating years ago, you didn't take it as seriously. But now it's kind of. But now it's kind of. What are you saying?
There's like a stigma attached to it.
Yeah, but now it's kind of become like an everyday thing.
Yeah,
like
unless you met them through World of Warcraft, then there's still a stigma.
Yeah.
Like in How I Met Your Mother. Do you remember that episode?
They met through.
He told them all he met. Ted had met a girl through online dating, and they thought it was just like online dating. So like, oh, that's fine. And then they came to find out it wasn't really online dating website. It was through like World of Warcraft.
No, I don't remember that episode.
Yeah, I don't remember what episode or season, but it was one of the later ones. But I mean, University of Phoenix actually has a Philadelphia commencement June 14th, 11 a.m.
Okay, so yeah, so they do a local commencement
in Philly. So yeah.
Yeah, that stigma that it's online, like whether it's dating or college or whatever, it's kind of going away. It's becoming more of the norm, actually.
Yeah, exactly. It is, and I know a few people who have done, you know, Match.com or whatever the different one, eHarmony, or Let's Get Together, Let's Go Bang.com or something like that.
Zeus.com and ChristianMingles.com and FarmerSingles.com and
there's a BlackPeopleMeet.com.
Is there?
I've seen commercials for it.
I think there's SexYourNeighbor.com.
Really? Is that legit?
I don't know.
Okay.
There's a ton of different ones, and I saw one online for farmers, or not online. I saw
TouchMyShaft.com.
What?
TouchMyShaft.com.
Touch My Chef?
Shaft?
Oh, Touch My Shaft.
Yeah, it's a website for golfers.
Woodcutter. Oh, okay, that's a golfer's dating site.
Yeah.
No, I saw one on a commercial for farmers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that I couldn't
Like
believe.
People who have farmers insurance can get together and date?
No, not farmers insurance, like actual farmers.
Oh, like agriculture.
Yeah, which I thought was weird to play in the Philadelphia area, just because
Yeah, 'cause
I don't know of
there's
any farms around here.
Although Delaware Valley College in Doylestown is a very agricultural university.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
I feel like I should be playing like Green Acres right now.
I know.
Yeehaw, let's get together.
So,
You have all your teeth? Well, I got 2 left. Good enough.
wow. Talk about racist.
What? Sorry, that's hillbilly, not farmers.
Oh.
No farms, no food. Just remember that.
Very true.
I've seen the bumper sticker, and it is true.
It is very, very true.
But what do you say we move on to the next level news?
Well, before we do next level news, what do you say?
Let's say you wait a second till we do next level news and talk about this, something else.
No, it's not. We're not talking about something else. I'm going to say that.
Let's not do next level news.
Right after next level news, we're going to be taking a
just
break.
talk about something.
Will you let me talk for a second? Right after next level news, we're going to be taking a break, and during that break, we are going to reveal our movie title. And this movie title is, if you email this movie title to us, you will earn another chance into our big summer blowout, our big summer contest. So you're going to have to listen during the break. It's going to play
Summer blowout?
It's going to play in between the 2 songs. We're going to come in and we're going to give you a movie title, and we're going to tell you an email to send that movie title to. And if you do that, you're going to get a chance. You're going to get another chance into our big summer contest. It's a habit now. Like, I want to say big summer blowout every time we talk about it.
Big summer blowout?
Oh, God, thanks. So, but what do you say we take a quick second to tweet that and to post that on our Facebook page that we get some people to tune in? And then, well, actually, how about I do that while you start Next Level News, and then when I go into my first story, then you can tweet it.
Sure.
Does that work? We're gonna do 2 things
That
at once.
sounds like too much multitasking.
I know. We're gonna do. How many stories do you have, by the way?
I have 3.
You have 3. Okay, so I have
two,
about
right?
5, but I'm gonna narrow it down to 3. I'm gonna pick
Sweet
3.
Jesus.
I know.
Last time we talked, it was 2.
Well, 2 of them are breaking, actually.
Oh.
2 of them just came in while we were doing the show. Well, I might as well do it now while you did that. We won't even put it in Next Level News. AT&T to acquire DirecTV in a $67 billion deal.
I think I heard about that.
It was in talks for a while, but the deal has been finalized as of today, as of a short while ago. I hope they really make improvements because I hate DirecTV. I've had it and I can't stand it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anytime the channels, the networks need to renegotiate, DirecTV will take the networks off the air until they can renegotiate.
Oh, really?
Well, because they lost A&E that way for a while.
That's lame.
So people weren't able to watch Walking Dead when Walking Dead was in its height. I think during the 3rd season, because DirecTV decided that while they were negotiating, they weren't going to air A&E.
Oh, really?
Which was stupid. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't Walking Dead. It was Always Sunny in Philadelphia because they removed FX.
I don't like their 2-year contracts. They make you sign up for a 2-year contract.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to, but then it's outrageous price-wise if you don't.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the reasons why I don't have cable anymore.
Yeah.
So, but you have 3 stories. I have 3 stories. What do you say you kick us off with Next Level News?
This is Next Level News.
First off, Next Level News, and I'm going to read this story as slow as possible so Ben has a chance to post to Facebook. Blade Runner 2 is officially looking to bring back Harrison Ford. And I actually...
Well, there goes one of my stories.
Oh, really? I sent you my stories. You are... Seriously.
Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally.
Decades after it was considered to be a financial flop, Blade Runner is now up for a sequel, and Alcon Entertainment, based out of Warner Brothers, has been hot on the idea of a follow-up for a few years. No other details shared about the other Blade Runner until now. They're going to need the Harrison Ford. They're going to need Harrison Ford for the movie, so they're trying to get him. I don't believe he's officially signed on or anything, but it's official that they're trying to get him to come back on.
Gotcha.
Did I give you enough time?
No, but I can go back to it after you go to your next story, so that's fine.
Okay.
But sticking with movie news, as far as Blade Runner sequel, but sticking with movie news, Channing Tatum confirmed as Gambit in the X-Men spin-off movie.
I did hear about this. So it's going to be a Gambit-based movie?
Well, he's going to be in X-Men Apocalypse, which is the next X-Men movie after Days of Futures Past, but he's also going to be getting his own spin-off movie. So, Channing Tatum is officially set up to play Gambit in the upcoming X-Men spin-off movie, sources confirmed. They spoke about the character as the X-Men Days of Futures Past premiere in London. He's a rogue. He's a rascal, just like... Oh, they're talking about Channing in this. He's a rascal, just like Remy LeBeau, which is Gambit. And he can handle the action. We all know that, and he's got a really good heart. I think he'll be great for Gambit.
Except G.I. Joe sucked.
You know what? Gambit is probably my favorite X-Men. He has been for years. So I was kind of excited when they brought him into X-Men Origins Wolverine, but I was really disappointed when you didn't see a lot of him.
When you watch the movie.
Yeah, I was really disappointed to see what they did to his character.
Yeah, and he could and should have his own movie.
So I think I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Gambit again.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm looking forward to it.
And Channing Tatum is hit or miss, in my opinion. I mean, he's done some good stuff, and he's done some crap.
I know they showed the trailer. I don't know if they showed the trailer when you went and saw Godzilla, but they showed the trailer for 22 Jump Street.
No, they didn't.
And
I've seen it. I've seen the red band.
It looks hysterical.
It does.
The
21 was really great.
The first one was a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be, and it was mainly because of Channing. I didn't think he was going to be that funny.
Yeah, he was actually really funny. And Jonah Hill, he's funny. I don't know if I'm getting tired of him or what it is. I don't know.
And I liked him in White House Down, too, so he's proven he can do the action.
Yeah, I didn't see that one yet.
It's pretty good.
So sticking with characters who have relations with X-Men, or not relations with X-Men, but who are, doing... Michael Fassbender, okay? I'm just going to go into it. He confirms that Prometheus 2 is definitely happening. Who knows when it's going to come out, but it hasn't even started filming yet, but it is definitely going to happen, and he's going to reprise his role as the android David.
I haven't even seen the first Prometheus yet.
Oh, really?
No.
I have it. You can borrow it.
I have it, too. I have it on my computer. I just haven't watched it.
Oh, I have the Blu-ray. That was one of the ones I bought without seeing first. And I liked it. It got a bad rep, but I kind of liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it's one of the ones I never really I never really had the opportunity to do or to see. I want to though.
Yeah, it's good. I want to watch it again. So.
Gotcha. Okay, I have one more, and then I think you have one more as well. Harry Potter spinoff, Fantastic Beasts, to hit theaters November 18th, 2016.
Really?
Warner Brothers has dated J.K. Rowling's first installment of the Harry Potter spin-off trilogy, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, for November 18th, 2016. They always come out right around that time because I always remember the Harry Potter movies coming out right around my birthday, which is the 16th of November.
So this is based off another set of books?
It's a trilogy, yeah, of a spin-off. And on top of this story, the original actors... Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and oh god, why can't I think of his name?
The red-haired guy.
The kid that plays Weasley. They're coming back in this. They're going to be shooting scenes for this as those characters, as Harry, Hermione, and Ron. So, which should be pretty cool.
Rupert Grint.
Rupert Grint. That's it. Yeah, it's become the first title to land on the date 5 days before Disney opens up another untitled animated film. So we don't know what that's going to be, but
mystery, just like our mystery guest from Godzilla. Last story: Michael Jackson will perform as a hologram at tonight's Billboard Awards, which is also kind of breaking because I had seen that they were going to have a special Michael Jackson thing, and in my head, like last week, I was like, "Are they going to do this whole Tupac thing and make him like a hologram?" Yep, sure enough, they are going to. A surprise performance from the late king of pop at tonight's Billboard Music Awards as a hologram had been spoiled after a lawsuit to stop the show was rejected, or I should say, let me rephrase that because the way it's written is not very well done. There was a lawsuit to try and stop them from doing this, but a federal judge rejected it, so it's going to happen. Apparently, it was a very closely guarded secret.
And that's tonight during the Billboard Music Awards?
Yes, tonight.
I didn't even know the Billboard Music Awards were on tonight.
Yeah, I think they're on at 8. I
Yes.
don't watch them ever, so.
I very rarely watch the music awards too. So.
Yeah, they're on tonight at 8/7 Central.
Okay. So yeah, we'll be done by then. Hopefully.
Yeah, in case you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, you want to hear? Oh no, never mind. You want to hear the finalists real quick for the top artist?
Sure.
Since we don't do music much, and I want to see who you think's going to win.
Okay.
Because I think I know who's going to win. Miley Cyrus.
No.
Imagine Dragons. Bruno Mars. Katy Perry, and Justin Timberlake.
Oh my God, that's tough actually.
Yeah, and you know what? I Imagine Dragons has been all over the place this year, but it very rarely will go to a group. They kind of just put them in there.
I would think I would have to go with JT.
Yeah, I think that's who.
And you know what? I'm not ashamed to admit it. I love him. I love his music. I think he's a fantastic actor. He's hysterical when he's on SNL. It's funny that we bring him up too, because it's kind of off topic, but Andy Samberg just last night hosted the season finale of SNL. And anytime Andy Samberg is on, Justin Timberlake is usually on with him. So during his monologue, he comes on and he says, "I just want to let you know, first off, before we get into anything, Justin is not here. He's touring in Russia right now, but he was nice enough to send a picture to give me some encouragement." And they put the picture up, and it's Justin Timberlake outside giving the finger to Andy Samberg with a sign that says, "You're gonna fucking blow it."
I assume they blurred it out.
They did. They blurred out the finger and the word, but
that's funny.
But it was pretty damn funny that they did that.
That's fantastic, and I think a couple of those. I can't find the list here on their website, but there's a couple performances. I think a few of those artists are included in those performances.
So yeah, I think Justin's going to take that.
Yeah, I agree, but we'll see. I mean, it could go Bruno Mars, a Super Bowl guy. Miley Cyrus has been all over the news, not necessarily for music.
Yeah.
Katy Perry got divorced, and Imagine Dragons has just been kicking ass in the rock or alternative industry.
I think I would have to go that if Justin's not going to win it, I think it would be Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, I don't think they will, unfortunately. I don't, because those groups, alternative rock, whatever genre you put it in, they don't get enough recognition. They should, because it all depends what kind of music you listen to, but I love that kind of music.
Well, they don't get enough recognition because radio tends to overplay the hell out of Radioactive.
This is true.
Which kind of diminishes any recognition they should be getting. Their
mashup at the Grammys with, I don't remember who it was with, but it was really good.
Yeah, I didn't get to hear it.
Oh, okay. I actually caught it live, which is surprising because I never see the Grammys live. But
I'll check it out later. But on that note, we are going to take a break. Be sure to listen during the break. We are going to come in during the break and give you a movie title and tell you where you can email us that movie title for another opportunity to get in on to get another chance into the big summer contest.
Kendrick Lamar, by the way.
That is not the phrase we are using during the break.
No, that's not a movie title.
So, no,
that's Imagine Dragons and Kendrick Lamar at the Grammys.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. I'm sure it's on YouTube or something.
Oh, it is.
Okay, but we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes, so hang tight.
Nuclear!
You so totally rock, Squirt! So give me some fin. Noggin. Dude.
Dude. I love that clip.
I didn't hear it.
It's from Finding Nemo.
Oh, okay. I just think that song
the turtle and his son. You just think the song what?
It's completely appropriate.
Oh, it is. I mean, considering we're about to do an interview and go over a review of the movie.
Review, yeah.
So, if you're just tuning in, unfortunately, you missed our mystery clip during the break. You should have tuned in sooner. We've been posting about it all damn night.
Yeah, and if you're podcasting,
you won't hear it.
Never are going to hear it because you have to listen live.
Yep, that's the.
So make sure
it is a perk of listening live.
Yeah, make sure you listen live Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern Time to usually about 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
But if you did miss it this week, do not fret. We're going to do another one next week, as well as probably every week leading all the way up to the 31st. So you'll have a ton of other opportunities to earn extra chances into the contest. So
into what contest, Ben?
The Big Summer Blowout.
It's a big summer contest, man.
Big Summer Contest. We couldn't think of a different...
Big Summer Blowout?
We couldn't think of a better name than just Big Summer Contest.
No, it's just kind of what we rolled with.
So, John just said he was saving people from a burning building. Then you should have turned the Xbox off. And...
We have an app,
the
Mixler app.
Yeah, I know. Introduce us to the victims of the burning building, John. Are you selfish? Get them to listen to us, too.
No, but even if you're driving home from this said building that I hope isn't burning anymore...
I highly doubt John was saving somebody from a burning building. No offense, John.
Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
No offense, John, but I highly doubt that's true.
He's not a firefighter?
No, he's not a firefighter.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. Take back all the good things.
I love John. He's a good friend. He's my summer concert buddy. Whenever I get the chance to actually go to a concert this summer.
Are you going to one this summer?
There's a couple in the works. I think John and I are going to be. I think Fozzie, along with John, post in the room. Who's coming with Fozzie? Not Kermit. It's not Muppets Fozzie, you jackass. It's Chris Jericho from WWE. It's his band.
Okay.
So Buck Cherry, that's it.
Fozzie Whitaker, right? That actor?
Yeah. Yeah. Fozzie Whitaker? That's Forrest Whitaker.
With the lazy eye?
Yeah. I don't know what the hell you're even talking about at this point. So, anyway.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm just ignoring
Buck Cherry, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It's Buck Cherry, Fozzie.
And Kermit.
What?
I think Gonzo might be there.
Anyway, we've been telling you for the past week or two that we had an interview with somebody from the movie Godzilla, which is very appropriate since the movie opened this weekend, as Adam said during the box office in the beginning of the show. Did very well in the box office, $93 million opening. I'm sure it'll do even more throughout the week into next weekend. Although I don't think it's going to win next weekend. Because X-Men is opening.
X-Men, yeah.
But we were lucky enough to score an exclusive interview with this person. A big star of the movie. And so we're not even... I don't even really want to do it anymore. I just want to play it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I just want to play it. We've been saving it. We've been trying to get you guys to tune in live just to hear it. So Adam and I are going to sit back for a minute, and we're going to play the interview in its entirety. So you guys can sit back and listen, and we will come back. And at the end of the interview, we'll talk about the interview a little bit, and then we will recap the movie. So
and deal with the protesters that'll be outside our door.
Yeah. So keep in mind, this was a very, very fun interview. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. So here it is, our interview with our mystery guest from the movie Godzilla. Hey everybody, Ben back here from Next Level Radio, bringing you another guest spotlight, joined as always by my co-host Adam Gorey. For a little bit of time now, we've been telling you about this great opportunity for an interview that we've gotten, and tonight we are not going to disappoint. We are going to be interviewing somebody from the movie Godzilla, and this is definitely a huge star from the film. So Adam, I know I've been looking forward to this one. I think you have too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. One of the largest stars of Hollywood.
And definitely in demand, especially for this movie. So let's not beat around the bush any longer. Speaking to us directly from Hong Kong, please welcome to Next Level Radio, the gigantic man himself, Godzilla. Godzilla, I gotta ask, before we go any further, is it Godzilla or Gojira?
Okay, so either one works then. That's what I kind of figured, but you know, that movie back in '98 kind of made the line a little bit fuzzy.
You know, I know you're calling from Hong Kong, but I gotta say that your phone line is incredibly clear. We can hear you extremely loud and clear.
Yeah, and very little delay too. But so first, I got to ask you. I mean, preparing for this movie, how has it differed from movies you've done before? I mean, just back on the onset of like '98, and even ones back into the '80s and '70s. Yeah, I mean, CGI has definitely been a big part of movies lately, and you can tell because the quality is just so much better now, and now that we can see you in high def, you look so much more realistic than you did back in the 70s.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, back in the day, in the earlier Godzilla movies, back in the beginning of your career, I mean, it almost looked like you were wearing like a rubber costume. And,
yeah, it kind of just looked like somebody stomping around on like a miniature village or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is true what they say that, the camera adds 100 pounds, especially in your case. Now, going back to, as Adam said, throughout the different, the films that you had done, going back to the 1998 film, or the film that you had done back in 1998, I know that wasn't as highly revered as some of your earlier works, and as highly anticipated as the current work that you're promoting now. I gotta ask, since it really wasn't, as I said, highly revered, what was your opinion of that version of your biography?
Well, do you think the fact that, off the top of my head, that's the only one I can think of where you weren't battling another monster, as kind of, humans versus you, do you think that contributed to the negative media around it at all? Oh, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, it probably didn't help that you were by yourself in it, and it was pretty much just you versus the city. But you have to admit that the cast that they got for that version, is a pretty decent cast. Matthew Broderick is a great actor. He's still a great actor. Jean Reno, Hank Azaria's got to be funny. It had to be fun to work with those people. So, I mean, and now we're moving into the new iteration of the film that has a cast in it all in its own. Bryan Cranston as well as many, many others. Now, we don't want you to spoil anything for any of the people that are getting ready to go see it this weekend, since the movie hasn't been released yet. But what can we expect, from this version of the film?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the trailers, I see, it looks like at least a couple different types of monsters. Can you tell us or give us a hint about which ones make an appearance in the movie? Yeah, I thought you might say that, but I figured I'd give it a try.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to try, and besides, we're gonna be seeing it ourselves, so it's probably best that we don't get any spoilers ourselves. All right, well, we appreciate you spending a little time with us, but we know you got to get going. We're running short on time. We know you got some other promo to do since the movie, you got to hype the movie up a little bit more with some other people. But before we end our interviews, what we like to do is we like to end our interviews with what we call our rapid-fire questions. Basically, Adam's just going to shoot off a couple quick questions to you. Just answer with the first thing that comes to your head, and, you don't have to go into too much detail. Just make it simple.
All right, first one up. What is your favorite flavor of ice cream? Oh, you've never had ice cream. Wow, that's definitely something you got to try, but I guess it's kind of hard to find a cone big enough for your hands. Sorry, claws. All right, second question, and this one might be a little tough. I've asked it before on Rapid Fire, but for you, it might be a little more difficult to think of somebody. If you could have any, if they made a movie about you that you were not starring in, who would you have play you?
Wow, Val Kilmer. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, I would have thought maybe like the Incredible Hulk, but Val Kilmer, he was a good Batman. So actually, he was a terrible Batman.
He was a decent Batman. Yeah, I'm sure he could do a better job playing you, though.
He's no Clooney. Yeah, that's right. So third question here. All right, third one. Now this, just in the news recently, it was said that they're rebooting the original Power Rangers. So who was your favorite Power Ranger?
Yeah, that was probably a pretty obvious choice.
Yeah, I was gonna say everybody likes the Green Ranger. I mean, I was a huge Green Ranger fan. Nobody ever liked Billy or Trini.
No, I was a White Ranger fan myself, but the Green Ranger was awesome.
He was green and then white.
Yeah, it was the same guy.
Yeah, everybody always liked green, red, or pink though, and then we all, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, I'm sure you're no different. We all love the Pink Ranger, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Now, final question here, okay? This is the last one, and then we'll let you get going because I know you got a busy schedule, okay? What's your favorite guilty pleasure music to listen to? One that, I mean, if you were cruising around, I mean, I guess you don't really drive, but if you were cruising around with, metaphorically speaking, with the windows down, blasting this music, and you rolled up to a stoplight and there's a bunch of people there, what music that you were just blasting would you turn down and roll your windows up because you're a little embarrassed? Oh, don't be embarrassed about Gangnam Style. I mean, that was a huge hit last year. I mean, a lot of people really like that song. And being, from Asia, I can kind of see that.
I mean, it could be worse. You could be a Nickelback fan. So, I mean,
yeah,
I'd take Gangnam Style over that any day.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right. Well, we know you got to get going. But before we go, can people find you anywhere on Twitter or on Facebook?
Yeah, I guess social media is a little beyond, your time, your old school style.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little before his time, so a little before your time. But again, we want to thank you for joining us tonight, Godzilla, and of course, we want to encourage everybody to head on out and check out your movie, Godzilla. It's going to be in theaters this coming Friday, and we hope it's a hit for you, man. So thanks a lot for joining us tonight.
No, man, I mean, it's really been our pleasure and a huge honor.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge honor. I mean, you go way back, so it was awesome that we actually had this opportunity to talk to you. Yeah, man. Best of luck to you, too. We'll let you go, but check us out, www.nextlevelradioonline.com, and we will see you down the line. Take care. And that was our completely ridiculous interview with Godzilla.
I'm sorry.
We apologize ahead of time. Well, no, not ahead of time because we already played it.
Yeah.
So we thought it was something that would just be fun to do. It's
yeah.
We haven't done any bits on the show yet, so that was our first one. So we figured that would just be fun.
And I promise you, when we reveal or when we premiere, debut, whatever, the Will Eubank from the Signal interview, it'll be an actual interview.
Yes, it's an actual.
It'll be a human being on the other side of the phone.
It's an actual interview. I love the comments that were coming in during it though, because you could tell people were actually listening. just by some of the comments that were coming in during the chat room. My buddy,
Reluctantly listening.
My buddy John, the one comment had me cracking up was when you asked what actor would you get to play you in a biography, and he answered with Kirstie Alley. That's probably more appropriate.
Yeah, more appropriate than Val. Yeah,
that's more appropriate than Val Kilmer.
He said Val Kilmer. He must be a Val Kilmer fan. I don't know.
So, we're gonna post that up on iTunes and on the YouTube page and stuff, just for fun to people here. We also have an unedited version of Adam and I putting the whole damn thing together. It took us probably about 25 minutes to put that together, and we were just laughing.
25 minutes of my life I can never have back.
Yeah, and we were just laughing at so many parts because of how stupid it was as we were putting it together.
It was going to sound stupid.
We didn't know where we were going with certain questions. We would ask a question and we put the sound effects in as if an answer, and then we would reply. And then we would just sit there in silence for like a good 10, 15 seconds because we had no idea what our next question was going to be.
You know how they say real recognize real? Well, stupid recognize stupid too.
Yeah. That's one segment we're going to submit to the podcasting awards when the podcasting awards come out next year.
Yeah, is there like a Razzie version of the podcast awards?
I don't know. So, but it was all in good fun.
Yeah.
You know, we did it just for fun, obviously. But on a more serious note, Adam and I both had the opportunity to see the movie Godzilla, as I know some other people did that are probably listening and are going to be listening to the podcast. We're going to give this, we're going to do a ranking first, at a 1 out of 10. I'm going to say spores.
Spores?
Yeah. Well, because the spores are in the movie.
I know. I just wanted to clarify. I didn't.
So, 1 spore being horrible, 10 spores being fantastic. On a scale of 1 to 10 spores, Adam, what is your...
Should have been scales.
Oh, yeah, let's do that instead. Scales.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10 scales, what is your ranking? What is your rating of the movie?
Boy, I'm going to... You know, and it's funny, I had time to think about this, and I didn't. I'm going to give it... Probably have to see it again. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 scales.
My ranking of the movie is probably right around the same way, 7.5 to 8 scales.
Yeah, I was gonna give it an 8. Maybe if I saw it again, I'd give it 8 scales. But right now, 7.5.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna try and keep this as spoiler free as possible, just so anybody who hasn't seen the movie yet can still go and see it and enjoy it.
Yeah, and there's actually not that much you can spoil. I mean, it's a monster movie, but there's a couple things here and there.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
about basic plot.
If you compare it, one thing I actually did since I watched it last night, I don't know why I did it. Well, I know why I did it, because it's still actually a guilty pleasure movie for me.
The 98 version?
I went and I watched the 98 version last night. And
I didn't get a chance to watch the 98 version, but I was comparing it to that.
You know what? Again, it's a horrible movie, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine. So I still kind of enjoy it. And on a note, too, on a side note, we're going to be potentially having the Riff Tracks guys as an interview sometime in the next couple weeks.
Yes, and they'll be riff tracking.
For those of you that don't know who the Riff Tracks guys are, they're the same guys that established Mystery Science Theater 3000. And they do riffs now to current movies. One of the last movies that they did was Night of the Living Dead, and before that they did Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers was a Kickstarter program that they started to raise money in order to get the rights to Starship Troopers so that they could do it in theaters and simulcast it all over the country. They just did another Kickstarter project to get the rights to the 1998 version of Godzilla. They needed $100,000, and they were giving it about 2 months so that they can do this in August. They raised $127,000 in 2 days.
That's crazy.
Which is insane. So, needless to say, in August, the Riff Tracks guys are going to be riffing the 1998 version of Godzilla, which I can't wait. I've never missed a Riff Tracks live event. They're doing one in July to Sharknado, and then they're doing one in August to Godzilla. And I'm really, really, really trying to get those guys on. I've been talking to their representation, and they said it's possible. We just have to schedule times. So I really want to get those guys on to talk about both of those beforehand, and just talk to them about Mystery Science Theater and stuff like that.
Yeah, at least one of them would be cool.
Yeah,
all of them would be awesome.
Yeah. But getting back to the movie, comparing it, in the 98 version, Godzilla was the villain.
I was going to say, they're kind of two different movies.
Yeah, because Godzilla was a villain, and the point of the movie was to kill Godzilla without, causing much more damage to the city. And it was in Manhattan. It was on the other side of the country.
He spawned eggs.
This one was it went right back to the original Godzilla.
Yeah.
Where it was the creatures that were attacking and Godzilla came in as the savior.
Right.
And that's not really spoiling anything because you can actually see that in the trailers and in the reviews of the movie.
Yeah, he doesn't come in and like terrorize the city. He returns, or he tries to return it to balance by getting rid of these monsters.
Yes. Yeah.
He's only basically summoned because these monsters have awoken.
Yeah. And the movie itself, as far as the fight scenes went, had a very original Godzilla feel to them, just with better graphics and better CGI.
Yeah, I thought. See, and this is why it was a 7.5 instead of like an 8 or 8.5 or 9. The monster fight scenes were very cool. I thought it could have used more, especially earlier on in the movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And the subplot, I guess, with the actual humans wasn't. I didn't think it was that great.
I could have definitely used more monster fighting.
Yeah.
Considering...
Yeah, it seemed like they kind of just crammed like 15 minutes of it in the end instead of doing it a little, here and there throughout.
Yeah, like they were writing the movie and they got to about an hour and a half through and they're like, oh, shit, we should probably throw in some fighting between Godzilla and the monsters.
Yeah.
Because we really haven't seen any yet.
Oh, wait, this isn't a drama?
No. So, yeah, we got to get on this. The fight scenes were definitely cool. I got to ask, because I saw it on opening night, and I was one of the people that did this. Did you have a packed theater when you saw it?
No, actually, it wasn't completely packed. I saw it at a theater that had it in 3D IMAX, 3D, and 2D. And I hate 3D, so I went to see it in 2D, even though I love IMAX, but I hate 3D.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I love IMAX and hate 3D.
Yeah, so I went to see it in 2D at 2:30 in the afternoon, so it wasn't packed.
Okay. I saw it in a packed theater, and I have to say, the very end of the movie, the final fight, it was one of those moments where the theater applauded.
Yeah. Okay. Where down the throat type of deal thing?
I'm trying not to spoil anything, but yes.
No,
Yes, the final moment. The final moment of the final fight was one of those moments that the theater erupted into applause. I was one of them. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
I thought that final moment was awesome.
That was very cool,
and it was worth the applause. And John is in the room and in the chat room, and he said his theater did the same thing. I know he saw it last night, so.
Everything Godzilla did kicked ass. I mean, it finally returned Godzilla to like a badass.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. So.
But I was not a fan of how they worked with, or whatever they did with Bryan Cranston's character. Not a huge fan of that. And, I mean, Aaron Taylor Johnson, is that his name?
I think so, yeah. What other movies Olsen. He's from?
Kick-Ass.
He's from the Kick-Ass movies, yeah.
Yeah.
He's kick-ass.
Just with a haircut.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he's got a better build now.
Yeah, he put on a little weight. Aaron Taylor Johnson, yeah, that's his name. He actually did a decent job acting-wise, but I just... There were a couple little plot loops and holes here and there that I thought was a little ridiculous. Like the one point he needs to get, I guess, from Hawaii to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Or something like that, or maybe like he was already inland and he had to get to San Francisco or something. But they were like, he was like, oh, I'm in the Navy, I'm Lieutenant Brody, blah, blah, blah. And the guy's like, oh, okay, come with us. Like, he just took his word for it and didn't ask for, like, credentials. Like, I don't think that would actually happen.
Well, that's not the part that bothered me. The part that bothered me was when he joined them. Somehow, miraculously, he had his uniform.
Yeah,
he had his fatigues. I didn't get that.
They don't just have it. I don't know much about the military, but I don't think they have, like, your size just laying around.
No, I don't know. So.
And I thought it was kind of weird he was the only person who survived, like, the one transport thing they were doing.
The one transport thing
with the train.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was kind of
but it's the movies. I will say, however, his wife in the movie,
Elizabeth Olsen,
a little tie-in to the next Avengers movie, is going to be Scarlet Witch.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, she was. Yeah.
It's hard.
Do you want me to mention about Captain America?
And it's hard to believe too that she is the younger of the Olsen twins, of the Olsen girls.
She looks just like them though.
I think she's cuter than the actual Olsen twins.
That's because she hasn't had all the drugs that they have.
Okay. And what was the Captain America tie-in?
Well, one of the end credits.
There's a Captain America tie-in?
No. With her at one of the end credits of Captain America.
Oh, it's one of the cutscenes at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tie-in to Avengers 2.
Right, yeah.
So, but yeah, she's going to be Scarlet Witch.
But yeah, I mean, but like we had said, I mean, the whole subplot throughout kind of wasn't that great, and I don't know if they just tried to do too much with it, maybe, because it's a monster movie. I mean, you don't really need to develop much of a subplot.
Yeah, my buddy Brian put it really well. He went and saw it Friday afternoon, and he put a one-sentence review on Facebook, and it was pretty much too many people, not enough monsters.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
And I kind of agree with that. That's the only reason why the movie didn't get like a 9 or a 10.
I also thought it was kind of convenient that these monsters kept going wherever Aaron Taylor Johnson's character was headed.
I noticed that too.
It just like followed him around, I guess.
He left Hawaii and went to San Francisco, so guess where Godzilla went?
Yeah, and they never really, and it's not really spoiling anything, they never really give, I guess the monsters aren't really any from the original?
No, the Motus, or the Motus.
Yeah, did they have those in the original?
They're kind of similar a little bit to Mothra, but I think they're their own kind of. I think they're their own kind of thing. They kept the monsters original, with the exception of Godzilla, obviously.
Right. I mean, they're kind of cool though. The Mutos, M-U-T-O.
Mutos, that's it. Yeah, I knew it was something like that.
Yeah, and it stands for something. I think it's Mega Understudy.
You're just making this up as you go.
It does stand for something.
I know, but you don't know what it is, so stop trying to figure it out. Mega under
Megalodon.
Tommy Overbrook.
Terrestrial. It's definitely terrestrial.
Yeah,
and I'm not kidding. The T is terrestrial. I know that. Mega understudy terrestrial.
Understudy. So they just stay there just in case somebody else they need to fill in for somebody.
Obstruction. That's the. Yeah,
it's not
mega It's massive unidentified terrestrial organism. That's the legitimate.
You're way off.
I got terrestrial.
Terrestrial was the only one you knew.
I said mega. Mega and massive are close.
All right. Well, it's already 8:00, so
let's do now Weird of the Week. I guess.
Let's do a Weird of the Week so we can wrap this up.
7.5 scales.
7. Yeah, same for me. 7.5
out of 10.
And now, Next Level's Weird of the Week.
Kicking it old school for the Weird of the Week this week.
Some old music.
Yeah. First one, Ohio court okays order that dad can't have more kids. So obviously this is out of Ohio.
How are they going to stop him?
I kind of question that too, but an Ohio appeals court has upheld a judge's order that a deadbeat father can't have more kids until he pays back his child support. It didn't provide an opinion about whether a judge's order was appropriate, but the appeals court said that it didn't have enough information to decide the merits of the case without a copy of pre-sentence report detailing the gentleman's background. His name's Asim Taylor. In January 2013, Lorraine County probate judge James Walther said that Taylor couldn't have any more children while he's on probation for 5 years. He said the order would be lifted if he paid nearly $100,000 in overdue child support for his 4 children.
Gotcha.
The gentleman's attorney is arguing that the order violates his right to reproduce.
I would just like to know how
is that a legitimate right?
I don't know. I would just like to know how they're going to control that.
Yeah, I don't know. Put on the chastity belt from Princess Bride?
No, you mean Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Or Men in Tights, sorry. I get those confused. It's the same guy, isn't it?
It's Carrie Elwes, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I get them mixed up all the time. I'll do 2 more. Dinner party is interrupted by a python eating a kangaroo outside.
Oh my god.
A dinner party was interrupted by an even bigger feast outside that involved a snake eating a kangaroo. So this is Australia's Northern Territory. A 2-meter python which had wrapped itself around the kangaroo and was crushing it to death. And there's actually a picture of it here, which I won't post because my wife Andrea is deathly afraid of snakes, so she'll never look at our website again. There were about 25 guests. When they had enough of the spectacle, they went back inside to the party to finish the meal. This one's pretty interesting. Apparently, aliens are targeting Welsh people. According to this woman. According to this woman, telepathic aliens are targeting whales in a bid to harvest their superior genetic material. It's according to abduction victim Hillary Porter. While her stories may sound outlandish or unbelievable, she dismisses those who scoff for being closed-minded. She's 67 years old and totally sane.
At least that's what we are meant to believe.
Yeah, she was so traumatized by her abduction, she was too scared to return to Wales for 4 decades. So this must have happened a while ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently, according to this woman, then aliens are targeting Welsh people. She should know because she was abducted. That's a direct quote.
All right.
That does it for the Weird of the Week.
That's definitely a good wrap-up to the show.
Yeah, most of the weird stories were actually not in America.
Welsh people being abducted by aliens. Being targeted to be abducted by aliens.
Snakes being abducted by aliens, Welsh people eating kangaroos.
And snakes that aren't allowed to procreate.
On a plane.
So, all right, well, that's going to bring us to the end of the showcast for this week. Trying to think. Obviously, check us out on our website, www.nextlevelradioonline.com. From there, you can find links to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, our Mixler account, as well as our Twitter account. We want you to follow us on all of them. Subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to Mixler, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. As I said, you do each of these things. Each of these things will get you another entry into the contest, our big summer contest. Big summer blowout.
Yeah, sorry, I already closed it.
That's fine. That's why I did it. I figured you were wrapping up. Each of these things that you do will get you another chance into it. Go to our on iTunes, subscribe to us on iTunes. You'll get another chance into the contest. And while you're on iTunes, if you rank us and review us, give us a written review on iTunes to help us get into the new and noteworthy section of the iTunes podcasts, you'll get another chance. So there's 7 opportunities right there. Listen to us live every Sunday, 6 o'clock. During the breaks, we will give you a clue that only live listeners are going to get. You listen in during that break and send what we give you to the email, and you get another chance. Plus, we'll be doing a ton of other stuff. We might do movie trivia during the week on the Facebook page and such. But, again, the catch to the entire contest is if we do not get... Well, we need to get to 750 likes on our Facebook page, which means share our page, like us if you don't already, and share it. Share it with your friends. Get them to like us. Get them to be part of this contest. If we get to 750 likes by August 31st, somebody is going to win that Blu-ray player, top-of-the-line Blu-ray player, and 10 Blu-rays of their choice to get their library started. It's a really cool prize, especially if you're a movie buff like I am. So,
but you can't enter.
But I can't enter. Well, I already own like 300 Blu-rays anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. So I have a hell of a movie collection. I have like 2,000 movies between DVDs, Blu-rays, and movies on my computer.
That's not surprising. And you still haven't seen Prometheus.
I still haven't seen Prometheus. There's a ton of movies I own I haven't seen yet. I still have time. That's what summers are for.
Yes.
I can get caught up because all the shows are on break.
Big summer blowouts.
Big summer blowout.
Next week, Lauren should be joining us again. She was going to join us this week, but I guess got very ill. So she wasn't feeling well.
You know, I think it's pretty safe. I think we're pretty safe to make the announcement now about Lauren.
Oh, I was like,
Lauren's going to be
to Switzerland.
Lauren's going to be the newest member of the showcast. Lauren's going to be the newest member of Next Level Radio, which we're pretty excited about. It's pretty cool.
A new co-host has been deemed. She won't be joining us every week, but
no, every other, and possibly a couple times she'll be doing like 2 weeks in a row. So
yeah, but she should be next week. She was going to this week, but isn't feeling better. So as long as she's, not still feeling ill, I know she said she was fine this morning and felt like she got hit by a train. So that could be like a flu, which is odd to get in May, but
it goes around.
If it's the flu, she might not be joining us next week.
So, but it's going to be really cool. It's going to be awesome to have like a female perspective on the show and things like that.
And someone to actually like tell us how dumb some of these ideas are live on it.
Oh yeah. I mean, and eventually we'll start getting Lauren will start hitting screenings with us too, and we'll start getting her involved in interviews that we do and things like that. She's going to become a pretty big part of the show over the next couple weeks. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool that Lauren's going to be joining us. We should get her back on next week. I'm really looking forward to some of the topics we have planned for when she's on the show.
Yeah, I know we're going to be doing some music topics, which we don't get to do too much.
Yeah, which I'm really looking forward to those topics. We've been trying to talk about them for a while, and we were possibly going to do them tonight because Lauren was originally supposed to be on tonight, but now it's next week. So next week we'll get to talk about some of these music topics, which I think is pretty cool. John, if you're still in the room, which I think you are, you'll probably get a kick out of these topics for next week too, so you'll definitely want to listen. And it's Memorial Day weekend next weekend too, so which means you'll have off on Monday, so you'll have no excuse not to stay up and listen.
Yeah, and stay up to 8 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's that late. I can't believe it's Memorial Day weekend.
If you're in England, it's like 1 o'clock there. So
yeah, I can't believe it's already like Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah,
I really.
Well, it's a little early this year.
I didn't know it changed.
Well, it's always the last Monday in May.
Okay.
And it's almost like the earliest it can be because if the 31st is a Saturday. You know what I mean? So in 2 years it'll be on the 31st. Next year is technically the earliest it can be.
Okay.
24th.
And yeah, Andrea, we know not everybody has off Memorial Day, but with the job that you have, it's greatly appreciated what you do and that you keep working. So,
while I sit at home and don't work.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an Xbox day for me, man.
Hey, me too.
We went Titanfall.
Titanfall.
We haven't played Titanfall in a while, so I think Monday might be a Titanfall day.
Cool.
So, but anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the show. As I said, go to our webpage, nextlevelradioonline.com. You can find links to all of our other pages. Subscribe to them all. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us a rate and review on iTunes to help us get in the new and noteworthy. And we're going to have the interview with Pete Mitchell from No More Kings this coming Wednesday night at 7:30. That's going to be live, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to tune in for that.
And I think we might have another one this week. So just keep an eye on our Facebook and Twitter. We'll break the news once we get anything confirmed.
Yeah, once we get stuff confirmed and scheduled, we always post it on our pages. So you'll be sure to hear them, and you can tune in and listen to the interviews live.
And don't forget, Wednesday, this was just announced, I think, this past week, Wednesday, June 4th, myself and a buddy of mine, we're going to be premiering Next Level Radio's Primetime Fantasy Football Podcast show.
John, that's another one you'll probably be into.
Yeah, it's going to be just like this show. It'll be live Sundays, that's us now. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, but we'll also podcast it for those who can't listen live.
And on that same note, yours is June 4th?
Yes, Wednesday, June 4th.
Yours is Wednesday, June 4th, which means that since it's going along with premiere week, Thursday, June 5th, will be the premiere of my new show, which is the All Request Radio Rock, which is about 3 hours of all request rock music blocks, things like that. Good opportunity for you to keep interacting with me. That'll be live Sunday. God, I did the same thing. That'll be live Thursdays starting June 5th. 7 Eastern Standard Time until about 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You'll be able to tune in, listen to some great music, make some requests, just chat with me during the shows and things like that, and that'll be live. That will not be podcasted, though. That'll just be a live show that I'll do every Thursday.
Due to copyright issues.
Yes. Due to copyrights, I might not be able to
when we start making our own music, we can podcast it.
Are we going to do that?
No.
I didn't think so. So Adam's going to have his fantasy football show starting Wednesday nights. I'm going to have my All Request Radio Rock on Thursdays. Next Level Radio is expanding, man. 2 new shows, a new co-host, a ton of interviews,
and maybe a new studio. Just kidding.
Oh, I would love that. It's in the planning.
Yes.
When I
win the lottery, we will have a studio.
Yeah. It's in the works for the next couple years. We'll be in a studio. So, but
I guess we should go.
It's already 8:15.
Unless you're podcasting, and then it's probably you're probably looking at the time frame of 1 hour and 52 minutes.
Andrea, if you ever wanted to do your own show and call it Peas in a Podcast, we would not stop you.
I would.
I wouldn't.
I'm just kidding.
It would be a new show.
I'd have to teach her to use all the recording equipment, but she's a quick learner.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's gonna wrap things up. Be sure to tune in next Sunday, 6:00 Eastern Standard Time. Listen to us live. Check out our interview with Pete Mitchell this coming Wednesday, plus any other interviews that we may have. We will post about. But until then, that's about it. We will talk to you guys next week. Have a great weekend, guys.
Yep. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.